and everyone, and welcome to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. I am your host, JW Moore, otherwise known as J Soul. And let me tell you something, I have missed you guys. Quite a few developments took place on the island of Tobago last weekend, and we have so much more to give you. Our Tobago Heritage Festival 2023 is underway. All are we and who all are we be? And so we would have gone to the opening gala coupled with the Tobago Heritage Calypso Monarch, as well as the Tobago Miss Heritage Personality Competition. Now, that was something that you guys really needed to be a part of. For those of you who were there, it was a buzz, it was exciting, it was pomp, it was splendor, it was creativity at its best, and the Calypsonians were at a level befitting of the world stage. And I'm saying to you, Tobago Heritage Festival 2023 is something that you do not want to miss. Do not miss the upcoming shows. Do not miss it. Tobago Updates Network Television was very privileged to be a part of the opening gala. Yes, we were there and we were bringing it to you live and in living color. We also took a trip to the wonderful, beautiful village of Charlottesville. We were there on Monday and we did there were so many stops. There were so many treasures and legacies along the way. All right. So you guys look out for a special feature on Charlottesville. All things Charlottesville, national treasures, natural treasures, you name it, and Charlottesville had it on Monday. So let's get to the good stuff. Now, we like to bring you inspiring stories. We like to bring you a taste of what our sons and daughters of the soil are doing and impacting humanity and the world. So my first story is from the Newsday. All right. Kevin Jared Hossain leads Bocas Fiction Workshop. Now, Kevin is an internationally celebrated author of the novel Hungry Ghosts. He will lead a fiction writing workshop hosted by the NGC Bocas Lit Fest, now open for registration. Titled A Novel is a World. The online session will give budding writers the opportunity to learn the intricate art of building a literary universe. Building a literary universe is in captive with the audience. It's being to reach your audience in a literary space. And Kevin is just one of those persons who are spearheading this event. The interactive 2-hour workshop will be held on July 29th from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. via Zoom, allowing for global participation. So you guys need to check that out. Check out what Kevin is doing and authors and literary persons are doing in the literary space. So you guys want to check that out. It's in the Newsday today. And The Guardian, let's go to The Guardian. Maxine Williams, Pursuit of Diversity. Now, Maxine can be found on the Trinidad and Tobago $50 bill with a smile, characteristics, a little bit of a tongue twister there, characteristic of the joy, which is the carnival season, as she crosses the stage in a Brian McFarlane costume. Williams is a Woodbrook native, regarding herself as a deep Woodbrook person. Her parents, both hailing from the same street in Woodbrook, says that she resides in California at present, and her sparkling personality has never lost a shred of the dynamism, warmth, and vibrance of the Trini people and culture. Despite her friends' characterization of her as intense, Williams says that she is merely infinitely inquisitive and a lifelong learner. One would therefore not be surprised that armed with such traits, she currently holds the high-ranking position of Chief Diversity Officer. So you guys really want to check that out. Quite a few inspiring stories today. And we have some lovely people gracing us on the brunch set. Don't forget, we have our book club. My sister Jewel Green George is here. We also have DIY, one of my favorite segments. And Ask Doc is also here. So we're going to take a break. We're going to be right back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago.
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
That created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bonaccord, right in Stobie Local Road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
We are back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, guys, before we went to the break, I would have made mention of my first guest. And I am very privileged that he's on the Brunch set today because he is going to be speaking on the 5 animal freedoms. And this is something that needs to be discussed. It needs to be brought into the spotlight because we have our 4-legged friends or 2-legged friends or furry friends or feathered friends, and we need to be able to really understand their purpose in the ecosystem, what it entails to take care of them and keep them healthy. All right, so Dr. Crooks is here today and he is going to be speaking with us. So Dr. Paul Crooks, welcome to Brunch. Thank you for giving us your time, and we are going to have a really nice conversation about the 5 animal freedoms. But before we get into the 5 animal freedoms, let's talk about the welfare, the principle that is the welfare of animals. Now, before Dr. Paul answers that, let me just mention that he is the president of the Trinidad and Tobago Veterinary Association. So if he's talking, you better believe he knows what he's talking about. All right, so Dr. Paul, over to you. Tell us about the welfare first, and then we go into the animal freedoms.
Okay, so animal welfare is the concept that animals are treated humanely, kindly, that they're given the opportunity to be themselves. Over time, the concepts of what it means to treat an animal humanely have changed, have evolved. We know that we do consume animals for meat, and that animals therefore have to be slaughtered as part of that process. The way that slaughtering processes have evolved over the years have been to capture that humane aspect and limit suffering. Of course, you cannot eliminate suffering, but the intention is to reduce it. So what the 5 animal freedoms represent are concepts that are put forward to your average layperson to know that they are treating an animal humanely. How do you know that what you're doing with your dog is the right thing to do? How do you know that what you're doing with your fish is correct? How do you know what you're doing with your cow is caring for the animal the way it should be cared? That's where these 5 animal freedoms come into play.
Okay. And, it's really befitting the topic at hand because we're having so many slaughtering and, hunting and all of these aspects that take place on the island and of the world as a matter of fact. And I think the education is not where it needs to be in terms of how we treat with not just our flora, but our fauna as well. And so the 5 freedoms, this is where that comes in. Having your animals and loving them, sometimes it's not enough. You have to know what is best for their well-being. So let's get into what these 5 animal freedoms are. Let's get into that.
All right, so I'll start with the ones that are fairly obvious, easier to explain. Freedom from hunger and thirst. It means that an animal should be well fed, and all animals, regardless of species, should have access to potable water, which is basically treated water, wassa water. They should have access to this kind of water all day.
Right.
I know there's the tradition that farmers tie their cattle out and they tie their sheep out, and the goats are left to roam for an entire day. And then they are brought back into the pen and they are offered water, they are offered dry feed. This is the sort of traditional practice. If you speak to farmers, you'll hear talk of, my neighbor might poison the sheep if I leave out a bucket of water. They'll put poison in the water. That concern is really overblown. Unfortunately, in the past, farmers have encountered what appeared to them to be sudden death in their sheep. So they had 50 sheep go out and now 48 sheep came back. It appeared to be sudden. It may not have been sudden. In many instances, it's something that was going on for a while, but they hadn't observed. But when these animals now, 48 come back and 50 went out, they think, well, they appear to be healthy. They suddenly died. So it must be an act of malice. Usually, there's a history in Tobago of the neighbors not getting along in the first place. So, my sheep eats the neighbor's lettuce and the neighbor making threats the whole time. So now that 2 sheep are dead, it must be the neighbor.
Yes.
And that's very often actually not the case. It's that the animal was sick from whatever other illnesses and so on, and the animal succumbed. But they made that link. And as a result, many farmers, and of course there's a lot of oral history and tradition, so farmers inherit from their parents that the neighbors might poison your sheep if you tie them out and you put the bucket of water, and that's it. They're not giving water.
That social aspect comes in there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and it usually puts it dampens, it makes it a bit dark and dank, because you have this social and sometimes cultural way of thinking that, like as you said, would have been passed on from generation to generation, and it overlooks what is really the case. Most of the times it overlooks that, and then you have the health of the animal that you need to be looking closely at, and this is not happening. You're looking at the social aspect now, that hey, I'm not getting along with this neighbor, and I feel he do something to my sheep, or I feel he do something to my dog.
Absolutely the case.
And it kind of overshadows. So we need to step away from that, and we need to be more educated.
Absolutely.
Yeah?
So this is why I would encourage any farmer, please ensure your animals have access to water. In fact, we all know that if we've been around for 20, 30 years, that on average, we feel hotter when we're walking outside than we used to. I remember walking from Bishops to Scarborough on an afternoon, and it was perfectly comfortable.
Yes.
Now, if you make that same trek, you're sweating buckets.
Yes.
It's ridiculously hot. The world is getting hotter. That's the reality. And in Trinidad and Tobago, the world is very humid, so our sweat is not as effective as it would be in a temperate climate. And that makes us feel even hotter. If it's not 40 degrees Celsius, it feels like it's 40 degrees Celsius because we can't sweat.
Definitely.
The sheep and the goats absolutely need water, not just for cooling, but water helps them keep everything moving, keeps the kidney functioning, keeps the blood pumping to the organs as it should, maintains blood volume and blood pressure. So what if you go on like Hope Farm during the day, where we have cattle roaming on the station, you'll notice that at certain times in the day, if there's one tree in a pasture, all 20, 30 cattle are under that one tree.
Yes, I have
They
seen
are
that.
seeking shelter. Many farmers who tie their sheep and their goats out, they do not give them any access to shelter at all. So you will see goats and sheep just standing in the rain sometimes, and in the rain maybe actually be better for them, or in the sun, and they're panting. And this is why I say, one, animals should have access to shelter, and we'll get to that freedom a little later on, but they definitely should have access to water, if for no other reason than to help regulate their body temperature. So animals should have access to food, good, nutritious food, and water, especially water at all times. The second freedom, the one that I would say is fairly obvious, is freedom from pain, injury, and disease. Of course, even in human medicine, there's no way to prevent all disease. Disease will occur from time to time, and disease just means an abnormal state of health. It doesn't necessarily mean physical disease. You could also have mental disease, as we know. So in the case of animals, it's that owners are, by taking ownership of an animal, you have responsibility and obligation to do your best to maintain this animal free of disease, to the best of your ability, free of pain, free of injury. So where you have sheep and goats that untied, remain loose on the side of the road, and they're running across the road, we know that there are issues that can come from that. It is not absolutely dangerous to members of the public, not just to the animals themselves.
Yes.
But there are so many cases where we see sheep, goats, even cattle who are injured as a result of crossing a road. We've seen issues where animals are tied with rope and they are hanged, or the rope is wrapped around the leg and the animal loses circulation to the leg needs to be amputated. So freedom from pain, disease, and injury is about trying to keep the animal in that optimal state of health. So with the first two freedoms, freedom from hunger and thirst, freedom from disease, pain, injury, those are fairly easy to understand. Then there's freedom from distress or so. So if you have rabbits, let's say, and you also figure it's a good idea to have a pet snake, which some people do, and you keep this pet snake in an aquarium near to rabbits. Rabbits are the most prey-behaving species of the farm animals that people have here. They panic really quickly.
Yes.
If a dog barks a siren from an ambulance, a rabbit may jump backward and snap its back, and you may find a dead rabbit. So those animals panic easily. If you keep a prey animal near a predator, the reaction from the prey animal is to cower and hide. That alone causes distress. Similarly, if you decide to have an agouti as a pet, you would need, in the housing, you would need an area in the environment where the animal is allowed to hide. Some people you'll see with they'll have an agouti and they'll have a 4-inch PVC pipe, maybe a 6-inch section.
Yes.
And the animal goes in there to sleep, or when it's scared, it hides. Just being able to have that area to hide is an important part of maintaining the animal's welfare. In fact, in general, where you have a wild animal in your care, we recommend that you try your best to replicate the environment from which that animal came. And that's freedom from distress. Freedom from distress, freedom from discomfort, so that the animal is able to move around and behave as it normally would in the wild. Of course, it's not in the wild, but at least you give it that opportunity.
So it's basically assisting with adapting. It's basically allowing the animal to feel as much comfort as possible, feel as much of a homely vibe. Yes, it may not be in the wild, but even if they are in captivity to a point, they do feel a sense, even if it's a small sense, they feel a sense of what it would have been like if they were not captured. And I think this, again, we have to talk about education. Not a lot of us are well educated on the pets that we have. And this is basic. Basic dogs, cats, taking care of them and what they need. You know, it varies from species to species. And I think not enough of us are really, really educated. We just have a dog, we have a cat, we feed it, and you know, we're good with that. But how many people do you see like making regular trips to the vets, you know, things like that? Those would be concerns that I would have as a pet owner.
Okay, so in Trinidad and Tobago, thankfully, we've generally seen more and more people care for their animals.
Okay, good.
There are multiple reasons. I remember even when I did geography in sixth form, there was talk of women moving away from the sort of traditional family role of being the housewife to careers.
Yeah.
And because of that, you've seen that women, if they do decide to have children, generally it may be later in their lives after they feel that they've achieved what they need to in their careers. In many of these families, as a result, where families exist, you find that animals almost fill that gap.
Okay.
And you find that, especially in the US and so on, and I mean, every country is trending that way, you'll find that people, their pets are their family. That is, those are the children.
And
They
there you heard
absolutely-
it. The pets are the family. And we're going to take a break on that note. We are going to be right back after this with more from Dr. Paul Crooks. You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2 and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV and a pool and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable.
Are back with Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, before the break, I was talking with Dr. Paul Crooks, a boss at veterinary, anything and everything veterinary sciences, you name it, he has done it. And we were speaking about the welfare of the animals. We were speaking about the freedoms that animals should have. And we were just touching a bit on education. We would have established that not enough education is available. And so this is something that we need to treat with. Let's talk a bit more about the educational aspect of it, and then we can go into the other two freedoms that need to be addressed. What do you see in terms of education that we are not getting and we need to be aware of when caring for our animals?
I'll share a little story. We have a 6-year-old at home who she's getting her book list for next term. She got one of these little West Indian reader books, the red books that we all would have read many years ago. And in the book, there's a conversation between a pig and a cow. And the cow says, "Do you produce milk?" The pig says, "No, I don't. I produce pork, but only when I am killed." Her reaction, and that's actually in the book.
In the book, yes.
Only when I am killed. And our daughter's reaction was, killed? What are they even talking about? Why? Because here the pig is humanized. And they're talking about killing this pig.
Yes.
And it occurs to her immediately that that is wrong. And unfortunately, that book, being as old as it is, shows the sort of difference in the thinking. Because that 6-year-old now, a 6-year-old now would immediately recognize that maybe there's another way we could do this than not kill the pig.
Yes.
Where perhaps 30, 40 years ago, it would have just been the norm that killing an animal is just what happens to animals.
Yeah.
And so that book is clearly has never been revised since that time. It's just been reprinted. But at the very least, we know that the world is trending towards treating animals better. And that's a good thing.
Yeah.
However, our traditions still stand. Our thoughts still stand. The idea that animals are tied out for the day still stands. It's very, very, very difficult to impress on people the importance of changing those behaviors because they're so embedded in the culture. They're such a critical part of who we are as a people that this is our tradition. That to try to say that, well, the animals would really do better if you do it like this, it's difficult to convince people of that because the animals have been surviving. They've been,
Yeah, they have.
they've been producing. So now how do you tell them that they'll do better? They know that this works. What they've been doing works. How do you convince them otherwise? We've been trying to get into the schools, the Trinidad and Tobago Vet Association, the TTSPCA, that's the Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, the Animal Welfare Network. We've all been trying to get to the school-age children. Our thought is with education that if we can impress and influence the minds of the younger persons, that they will then influence their parents. For example, there is one of the freedoms that we haven't yet touched, freedom from discomfort.
Yes.
So we talked about fear and distress, where you have a snake next to a rabbit or a dog next to a rabbit. But freedom from discomfort means providing a home, and we mentioned it to some extent, providing a home that mimics the normal environment. So the animal, like even parrots, you look at parrot cages, they're designed to be beautiful and fit in the corner of the house, but parrots don't fly vertically. In fact, nearly no bird flies vertically.
Right. So there you have an issue
parrot
there.
housing should be a rectangular or cuboidal shaped cage that allows the parrot to move from one side to the next. Or if you do have a vertical cage, it has to be wide enough that the parrot can fly from one side to the next and move up.
Yes.
If you go to the zoo in Trinidad, you'll see some of the enclosures where the birds are captured, and you'll see how those enclosures are made to allow the birds to move from side to side throughout the day. So that freedom from discomfort is an important part in education, because a dog that is in a 2-foot by 2-foot cage where the animal has a difficult time turning around, that is not comfortable.
Yes. And what about normal, because we would have touched on normal behavior and what that entails. We're getting ready to wrap. So tell us a bit about the normal behavior and how it may not always work to allow the animal to exhibit such behaviors.
So thank you for bringing that one up. That's the last freedom
Right.
to express normal behavior. And if you talk to animal rights activists, they will say, blanket across the board, animals should be allowed to be who they are. But we all know that there are bad people, and there are bad animals, and there are animal behaviors that, even if they are not bad animals, that cause a negative impact on those around us or on the environment.
Environmentally, yes.
And you have cats that hunt. Cats should not be allowed to hunt, because where we feed cats cat food every day, they are hunting for fun. It's an instinctive thing, so they don't really have control over it. They want to do it. But they will kill the lizard and just bring the dead lizard and drop it on your doorstep, never bother to eat it, because their belly is full already. So they're just killing animals because they can. And that is something you have to watch. Dogs have shown the predator instinct where they go out and they kill sheep. We've
Yes.
seen it on numerous occasions.
And
And rabbits. So you must be able to control your dogs as well. So freedom to express normal behavior means a dog should be able to play, should be able to wag its tail, should be able to greet you, should be able to bark. A cat should be able to climb a tree. But at the same time, that normal behavior should be contained within a behavior set where it does not negatively impact others.
Yeah. And what about, because there have been instances where you have your pet, like I have a dog, and my neighbors, some of my neighbors, they rear goats and rabbits, chickens at one point in time. Now, for me, it's very distressing because sometimes, let's say the sheep or the goats, they get away. You see them running with, the chain or the
Yep,
rope or
the rope.
whatever was holding them, and you see them running and it's dragging behind them.
Absolutely.
And then I am in distress, as a neighbor now, because I know not only is my dog going to get into that territorial protective mode because, hey, you are not supposed to be here. So once you're here, I'm going to attack, I'm going to go crazy. And then it's so distressing because you're there and they said, oh my gosh, I don't want this dog to injure this sheep or injure this goat. So how do we even begin to really educate ourselves on things like aspects of animal care? Because if you have your goat, your sheep, and for some reason they're always getting loose, they're always, roaming. Sometimes you come home and they're in the yard, they're grazing. You might have mint plants, chive and celery and these kind of plants that would smell really good, and they would go towards something that you're planting in your garden. So I guess it comes down to education again in terms of what they are doing for the environment. Now, you touched on dogs specifically and their hunting mechanisms and stuff like that. So I think it's so important to know the freedoms, understand them, right down to the nitty-gritty, and then you can better be able, hopefully, to take better care of your animals. Education, as we get ready to wrap, education is another thing that needs to be revisited. It needs to be from the lowest.
Absolutely.
Yeah? Okay.
Absolutely. And I want to conclude by saying every owner has a responsibility. This is where those 5 freedoms come in. You try to fit those freedoms. Normal behavior for your sheep and goat is to roam and eat people's vegetables. That is causing distress to others.
Yes.
You need to find a way to contain those behaviors.
Definitely. So we thank you so much, Dr. Crooks. Oh, a wealth of knowledge. I wish we had more time. There's so much to talk about, but time is not there. So you definitely need to come back to us, and we have a really, really intuitive discussion on animal rights, animal care, diseases, prevention, you name it. We're going to talk about it the next time you come, because you definitely have to come back. Before we go to break, guys, our trivia question. This is a good one. In the Mariah all-time wedding, what is in the canister carried during the procession? Let me say it again. At the Mariah all-time wedding, what is in the canister carried during the procession? All right, guys, so we are looking forward to your answers. Get to typing, and we will be right back with more brunch. DIY is next, my favorite part. We'll see you soon.
Health, number 13B, Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
If you see or know about a crime, report a crime safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero. Champion. Fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Thank you so much for joining us for Brunch, a Taste of Tobago. Now, before we went on the break, I would have told you about DIY Wednesday. And guess what? It is finally here. One of my favorite segments on this show. With me today, I have Miss Cicely Louie. And Cicely is the owner and proprietor of Kiss Cosmetics. So I'm going to join Cicely now. Hello, my darling. And welcome to Brunch. Welcome to A Taste of Tobago. Tell us a bit about what you're going to be doing today. But before that, tell us a little bit about Kiss, your Kiss Cosmetics, your business. So let's get into what Kiss is about, and then you can tell us about what we're going to be doing today.
So Kiss Cosmetics is actually a local cosmetic skincare brand that I own. We actually cater to everyone, male and female. We go from body scrubs, facial serums, soaps, lip glosses, lip scrubs, a wide variety of skincare items.
Okay, and this is something that you guys do not want to miss. Now, many of us, we like to experiment at home You know, I myself, I might make my little scrub or my little face mask and stuff like that. But in terms of doing it professionally and making it last, because the shelf life, you know, is important. It has to last. So Cicely is going to take us through the do's, the don'ts, what we're going to be doing. What are we going to be making today, Cicely?
Today we're making a foaming body scrub.
Okay. So foaming body scrub. Let's get to it. Tell us, show us. We are waiting to see.
Okay, so one of the main ingredients of a foaming body scrub is going to be our sugar as well as our foaming whip. This is what gives it more of a lather.
Okay.
Right? There are some other important ingredients such as oils that will be good for the skin as well as any type of additive that you may want to add to your scrub. So today we have turmeric. We also have poppy seeds, and I brought something a little fun. It's just for a pop of color.
Right.
So we'll be making two different body scrubs today. One is going to be a skin-loving body scrub, and one is just going to be for the aesthetic, something to just moisturize and exfoliate the skin. So initially, we want to start out by making the actual foam for the scrub.
Okay. So foam first.
Yes.
All right. I hope you guys are listening.
So with the foam, we're just gonna add it to our container. Give it a little stir just to wake it up a little bit, and add it to the container.
Is there a particular measurement, or it's
today
pretty
I'm
much...
not using a measurement. I'm just going by eye.
Okay.
But
Well, you've
usually,
been doing it for a long time, so you could do
usually
that.
to make for everyone else, I do it by specific measurements.
Okay.
Yes.
So just remind us what this is again. That you
This
just
is the
poured in?
foaming whip.
Okay, foaming whip.
Yes. So this is what gives the scrub the actual foam, the lather on your body while you're working it in. So what we're gonna do is you could use it just like this, but for me, I like to give it an extra whip.
Okay. So kind of like a mixer.
Correct. So you could get a hand mixer, you could get a stand mixer, and you could whip it up. All right, so we'll set aside the spatula for now, and then we'll just get into whipping. All right. So what you're looking for ideally is a fluffy texture.
Yes.
It more looks like a buttercream icing kind of texture. When you're doing it at home, it's not as important to fully get that texture,
yes.
but that's really what you're looking for. So if you notice, the actual consistency starts to change as
like
the air goes into it. Yeah. So that's kind of what you're looking for. With this, we could start adding the oils to this. It just makes it a little easier in terms of actually doing the mixing afterwards. So you just whip it up a little bit. Usually if I'm making a big batch, I leave it to whip for a good while. Yeah.
Because you want that texture, you want that consistency.
Correct. So you could start turning up your mixer for it to go a little faster, and it's looking more like icing. It's kind of doubling in size.
It's thicker.
Yes, it does.
So you usually have help?
No, I actually do all of this by myself.
So how do you fill these orders? It's like whole day? A whole day thing?
This probably to restock the entire store takes me about a week.
Okay.
Yeah. That's making soap, scrubs, serums, everything.
And how do we order? Because you have to do you order in advance? Do you have your stock and then someone calls, Cicely, I want to get this or that, and you get it to them?
So usually I make a large batch and we sell from there.
Okay.
You can either contact me directly via our Instagram or phone numbers, or you could go to our store.
Okay.
Well, it's not my store. It's a friend's store, and we just put the products in the store. So she sells from there, right? The name of the store is Eris Beauty Center. It's located in Lowlands.
Okay, so that's Eris Beauty Center, located in Lowlands.
Yes.
Take notes, guys, because I know you guys want to be a part of this.
Great.
So what's next?
So next we're gonna start adding oils. Now, the oils that you're gonna add could be any oil of your choice. Oils that you know your skin loves. So today we're gonna use coconut oil,
of course,
which everyone knows. I think everybody in Tobago used this from a baby.
Yes, that's one thing that is part of our culture.
And then we're gonna mix it with a little bit of avocado oil, which is one of my favorite oils actually. So we're using just about a quarter cup of oil because we want it to be really moisturizing. So you're adding it in slowly into your mixture.
All right, so don't just throw a whole dollop, guys. Slowly while you mix. Don't just dunk a whole dollop in there. You're not going to get the consistency you desire.
Because you don't want it to be too runny. At the same time, you still want that thick mixture. So to continue keeping it thick, you're going to add it in just some at a time.
And make sure that it's mixed well and that you have the consistency that you need.
Correct.
Yeah.
You also don't want it to be too oily on the skin. You don't want that oily finish while you're trying to wash off the scrub. So it's important not to add too much.
So you don't want, because oil has a tendency to leave a film after washing it.
So because you're going to be using this scrub with water, which is why I actually included foam, adding the lathering into the scrub, it helps to wash off a bit easier rather than if you just use oil and sugar only.
Yeah, because you don't want the oil leaving the film.
Correct, you know oil and water doesn't mix.
Yes, definitely.
So you kind of want to add something to it just to help to
balance
get some of that off
that balance
when you're washing off your scrub. So this probably looks really good here. It looks nice and creamy. All the oils are mixed in. I'm not seeing any oil.
Yeah, no oil
on the top. It's not separating or anything like that. So I think this is good here. All right, we're gonna set this aside. And now is the fun part.
I don't know, suddenly I feel for ice cream. Is that wrong?
No, because if you notice from the scrubs here, someone asked me once if this was something to eat.
Yeah,
no, it's not. Don't eat
so
it.
delicious.
You cannot eat this at all. Or lip scrubs, however, are completely natural and most people lick them off their lips after scrubbing. I'm not sure how healthy that is. But you could still do it. It's still completely edible. So we're just gonna put the sugar
now.
So since we're making two different scrubs, we'll do two different containers. Right? And with this, we could start adding our foam to the sugar.
Okay, so foam now. We first had the whip.
Yeah, so it's more foamy now.
Right, so we have the foam. We're adding the sugar.
Right. This also gives you a really good consistency. And it gives you a really good scrub. It doesn't feel too rough on the skin or anything like that.
Yes, and that's what, because sometimes you would use a scrub and you have the little, you mightn't see it, but you feel like little cuts, little scarring.
Which is why we're using the type of sugar that we're using today.
Yes.
This is granulated sugar as opposed to brown sugar. There are different types of scrubs. But I use this one mostly because the sugar is finer. So you would find that it doesn't scratch your skin.
Right.
Because if you look under a microscope, I'm sure if you're using brown sugar, you could see those little scratches on your skin.
Yes, you see it and you feel it. You feel a little burn.
You don't want to damage the skin.
Yes.
The purpose of exfoliating the skin is to get off dead cells, dead skin off of your body. You don't want to scrub so hard that you're actually stripping your body off your skin.
And how often should one exfoliate? Or viewers would like to know?
Exfoliation should never be more than 3 times a week.
Okay.
Yeah, because you don't want to over scrub. It tends to irritate the skin once you start over scrubbing the skin.
Okay.
So you don't want to over scrub. I would say at least 3 times for the week, no more than 3 times.
Okay.
All right. So today we're gonna start with turmeric. which is actually a customer favorite, which is why I don't have any because it sells out first.
Really quickly, yeah.
Yeah. So
what benefits would turmeric give to this scrub?
I grew up seeing people drink turmeric in water, boiling it out, and I actually did not understand at the time why they were doing that. Like, that's gross. Why are you doing that?
Benefits.
But the benefits of turmeric goes so far, not only for internally, but for your skin itself.
Well.
So turmeric on your skin helps to not only exfoliate, but it's also an antioxidant. It helps clear dark marks. It helps with acne, hyperpigmentation, all of that.
I think above.
that turmeric is actually one of the best skin-loving ingredients that you could probably find out here.
And you hardly find people being allergic to turmeric.
No,
you have to say, okay, what are you allergic to? Are you allergic to?
I've never heard that.
Never
actually.
heard of an allergy.
So that's really good. This one is actually one of the most requested in everything, in a soap, in a lip balm, in a scrub. Everybody wants turmeric because of just how great it is.
It is, yes.
So when you start mixing it up, you see it starts clumping together like this. That's what you're actually looking for. So the sugar starts melting into the foam. So that's what you're looking for.
It's almost like it's dissolving right in.
Correct. So you just
nice
continue mixing it until you can't see that white of the sugar anymore.
All right. So it has to be
completely yellow. You know that
golden.
Turmeric stains.
Yes.
So it's supposed to stain all of the sugar so that you're making sure that all of that sugar is coated in the turmeric. So now we're left with this huge lump, which is what we're actually looking for.
Okay.
And just to add a little fun to it, we could add a little fragrance, or if you can't get the fragrance, you use it just like that.
Okay.
You know, but today we'll add a little bit of fragrance. It's important not to use too much, and you always use a fragrance that is good for the skin. So if you're looking for a fragrance, it is important to find a fragrance that is for skincare.
Right.
You don't just use, oh, I have this perfume at home, let me use it. You can't do that.
Which might cause more harm.
It could cause irritation of the skin.
Yes.
Not everything agrees with your skin, no matter how much we think it does.
Yes.
Yeah. Same thing goes with if you just want to add color instead of using the turmeric, which we would be doing shortly.
Right.
You have to find a cosmetic line or cosmetic grade colorant. Things that are for the skin so that you don't end up doing harm to the skin. So this is actually complete here. Just as is. And then we'll just do a fun one. I have this nice purple color. Yes. It's actually called mica. You don't need too much of it. But as I said, it's for the skin.
Okay.
I brought along an extra skin exfoliant. It's called poppy seeds.
So this goes here.
Yes, we could add it into it. It gives you a little extra in your exfoliating. So this has great exfoliating properties as well. Super great for your skin.
When we mixing this one?
Yeah.
Can I try this one?
Sure.
Thank you. I don't know, it just looks fun. You know, I feel like I want to mix something today.
It's actually pretty therapeutic.
Yeah. If you're looking for a mixer, you can hire me for some time.
Right.
I'll come and mix.
I could consider that. I could consider that.
My daughter would absolutely love this. She would just play in this all day.
Yeah, it's fun to do.
Trying to get all the sugar in.
Yes, perfect. So this one actually looks like it needs a little bit more sugar. It's looking a bit too watery.
And remember, guys, it's granulated sugar as opposed to brown because it's smaller. The grains are smaller.
Correct.
So with granulated sugar, you are not going to get the scarring.
This actually looks really good. As
Yeah, this is good. Yeah. You sure you can't eat this, girl?
No. I'm
This
sure.
This smells
Maybe if
so
we didn't add the whip, then maybe you could have
Can I
eaten
just
it.
taste it? Because
No
it looks
whip.
like so many things, like
No
icing.
whip.
It looks like all kinds of whipped cream, all kind of things.
With no whip and no fragrance, maybe then you could eat it.
It tastes so good.
Yeah. So these, as is, could last in your home for about 2 or 3 months.
Right.
Not too long. The important thing is to try not to get water into them as you're using them. So what you could probably do is just get a little spoon. I usually give out a wooden spoon when I'm selling them.
Right.
And that's what you use to dip into it instead of using your hands.
Right.
When selling, I usually add a preservative to it. But a preservative is not something that you'll just find in your home. So if you're going to do this as a DIY and you're not adding a preservative, it's important to try not to put your hands into it too much or to let water get into it, because then it starts to break it down.
Right.
And that's when it starts spoiling, because
That's what we don't want.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because it's not ready for shelf and you don't have a preservative, they would tend to spoil. So this actually looks pretty good.
I like that.
Yes, this looks great.
The purple is nice.
I'm understanding what you're saying about eating now.
Yeah. It smells so good.
Yeah. So would you like to add a fragrance to this one?
Yeah, what do we have? Let me see.
So here we have a caramel. We have a chocolate brownie. And we also have a mango.
Let's try the chocolate brownie.
Perfect choice.
Yeah, that'll go well with this, I think.
So we're just adding again, just a tip. Perfect. It smells great.
Yeah. Woo! Okay, viewers. I kid you not. I am not exaggerating as to how good this smells. Oh my word. I think after we're done, I'm gonna ask Anton to get me just a little piece of cake, and that should quell the cravings. Yeah.
So when you're storing these, it's important to store it in something that would seal tightly.
Right.
So that air and moisture doesn't get into it too much. And store it in a dry, cool place. So you just place it into your container. Would you like to take this one home with you?
Yes, I would. Woo!
And show your daughter that you did this today.
Yes, I would. I definitely would. I know she's watching, so she's probably wondering if I would be bringing it home.
Yes, lovely. You could take the both of them home so that
Thank you
both
so
of you guys
much.
could enjoy them.
So nice and fluffy and...
Yes, it was perfect. And my measurement wasn't that bad.
I would say delicious, but no. That wouldn't be the right adjective
That wouldn't
to
be
use.
the right one to use. Right? Great.
Yeah, this is so nice.
Perfect.
So nice. So this, what was this? This was violet.
Yes, violet coloring. And this one was the turmeric. So this one, have all the good skin benefits. So this is what I was talking about. There are scrubs that you could just use just for having a nice aesthetic, a nice color, a nice scent, and you get to exfoliate your body while still getting all the benefits of exfoliating.
Yes.
And then there are the scrubs like the turmeric, the charcoal that gives you the extra.
Yeah, extra needed protection.
So it depends on what you're looking for. What is your skincare goal? If you're trying to get rid of dark marks, or if you're just really trying to just take care of the skin
generally.
Correct.
Yeah. And do you find persons moving more towards using natural products?
Yes, they do.
In terms of the market?
Yes, they do. And I'm really, 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 really happy for that, especially in Tobago. A lot of people choose to purchase local products instead of going to the store and purchasing brand name. And that's okay. We all love a good brand name brand. But it's also great when you know exactly what is going into your skin.
Definitely.
Because on the on our labels would have all of the ingredients that we would use in all of the products, so you know exactly what you're getting.
So you don't have to question, why are you having this? You know, some
exactly
customers,
what you have.
not all of them will be nice like me. Yeah.
But I actually do have some great customers, I must say. Loyal, great, they're inspiring, they motivate me. You know, especially when we run out, they're always on me.
And
when
they
you're
keep you
having more,
going.
when you're having more, so I could never not have any.
Yes, definitely.
Yes.
I think it's so wonderful. I love when young people are doing really, you know, good things.
Yes.
Positive things.
I agree.
Yeah. So, Crystal, just for our viewers, how do we reach you? Social tags, if any, people may want to place orders. They would need some specifics as to how they can reach Kiss Cosmetics.
Sure. So most of our orders come from either WhatsApp or Instagram. Or Instagram is shop.kiss. And our contact is 796-4387. Again, 796-4387. Or, as I said, you guys could visit Eris Beauty Center. And you guys could shop from a wide variety of our products. Yes.
Definitely. Well, Cicely, it was so wonderful having you.
Sure.
Let me just hold our finished products here. You know how Vanna White used to do it? Yes. So thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much. I am definitely going to be reaching out to you because I love this idea. I love natural products. And you cannot go wrong with ingredients that are not stripping your skin. They are helping.
Correct.
Yes. So thank you so much. She's so cute. I just want to hug her all the time. Yes. And we are going to take a break. But before we do that, let me just mention the trivia question once again. In the Mariah Oldtime wedding, what is in the canister carried during the procession? This should be good. The answers should be pouring in. Before we go to break, Book Club is next. Published author and Reiki master Deirdre Prescott is here, and Joel is going to be speaking with her. You guys do not want to miss this. We'll be right back with more Brunch, a taste of Tobago.
Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Switzerland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Excel Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
It's a different type of thing down there. And we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your...
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
Everybody only worrying. Never ever worry. Don't mind how things looking hard. I tell them never ever worry. If your nice can't get damaged bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I tell them never ever worry. Don't mind if life make you sad. I tell them never ever worry. If your house get flooded out real bad. I tell them never ever worry. What I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil is always right here for you. I them never ever worry if sickness catch you off guard. I tell them never ever worry if times fall on you real hard. I tell them never ever worry, what I'm saying is true. So just consider Tatil will always be here for you. Never worry about a thing. Tatil, where people are people. You know what I mean.
Come one, come all. It's time to join in the Tobago Heritage Festival 2023. Homage. All are we and all are who we be. To Tobago. Indulge in the awesomeness that is embodied in the spirit of Tobago at the 36th Tobago Heritage Festival. Celebrate a rich, vibrant, hypnotic showcase of our cultural legacy. Yes, from July 21st to August 1st, 2023. Take the island tour. Sample the sumptuous variety of local indigenous delicacies. Enjoy the recreation of old-time village life. Dance to the drum. Feel the rhythm of steel pan. Experience the way of life, languages, and oral traditions. Be part of the journey to our we heritage, honoring our past, celebrating our present, and inspiring our future. Relive our unique culture. Join in the preservation of the heritage of we island of Tobago.
This is how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show, and everybody's gonna know. Say it to them once again. They better look up below. This is your show, and everybody's gonna know. That's how it's gonna go. They better look up below, 'cause this is your show.
You can now get whatever you need whenever you need it anywhere in Tobago with Tobago. Your meals, medication, groceries, and shopping all delivered directly to you. No more hassle, no more stress. Get the Tobago app today on Google Play or Apple App Store.
That's TAPPOGO, and let us deliver to you.
Check our website at www.tapogo.app or call the experts at 494-TOGO and 484-4746. Tobago. Relax. We will get it to you. Tobago's at your service.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to Book Club Corner. I am Jewel Green, your host, and for Book Club Corner, every Wednesday we talk to authors about their books, about their art, about their love for the written word, and we love it on Wednesday when we have authors come and just bring their passion for books and the written word, right? So what we're going to be doing today, we want to talk to an author called Deirdre Prescott. And Deirdre is an author who has some very exciting, things to talk about in her life because she's done some very interesting things. But before we get into that, I want us Caribbean viewers in Trinidad and Tobago, we have some wine, right? You know how we do it, brunch on Book Club Corner. We have some wine from Mainridge Wines, and the name of this wine is called Bella Forma. And we have some Deirdre. We always cheers on Book Club Corner. So we want to take a cheers. Yes, thank you very much. And we do the 5 S's of wine tasting.
Okay.
So we see the wine, we look at the wine, look at the color, we swirl the wine, we look for the legs, and then when we're finished, we sniff. You get a sweet, fruity smell
Love it,
from
yeah.
this wine, yeah. And then, of course, we sip
We
the
sip.
wine. And we savor. This is Mainridge Wines from Stacy, and this wine is a red wine. It's sorrel and mango mixed with hints of tonka bean. And let me tell you, it's a good wine, this one here, right? We'll be getting more wines to taste. Every week we have a different one, but this one we had last week as well, and we enjoyed it so much we asked her for more for this week, right? But today, let's get to the meat of the matter, because you know we love our books on Book Club Corner. So today we're talking to Deirdre Prescott, and Deirdre's journey writing started in 2013, and by 2017 she had published her first book called Letters from Nigeria, and we'll be focusing on that book. She has 2 other books, and the other book would be called Reflections on Divinity, and this is a color therapy book, but we're focusing on Letters from Nigeria, and her third book is called Coming Through.
The other way around.
Is it?
Yes.
Right, so
Although you maybe
so we
I'll
have
give you a story about that.
so this is the last book.
Yes.
And this is the second book. And I'm going to show you that book we're going to be talking about. Let me get a copy of that book. So what we're going to be talking about today is called Letters from Nigeria. And this book, it's quite voluminous, as you can see, because there's so much experience packed into this book. And she moved to Africa. We want to welcome you, Deirdre.
Thank you so much. Thank
Welcome
you for having
to
me.
Book Club
yes,
Corner.
it's a pleasure.
It's so good to have you.
Yes.
We know each other well.
Yes, we do.
All right. We know each other well. Deirdre and I are good friends, and she is one of those authors. So fun, so interesting. Deirdre, I want to start off with a conversation about you deciding to pick up your good self and move your good self to sweet Africa. Right? Tell us about that move. How, what precipitated the idea to relocate to Africa as well? How did your family take the news?
Okay. I was at a stage in my life where I was really searching for answers. The things that I found passionate, I'm a Reiki master. I love the idea of hands-on healing. I love the idea. I worked with, I'm a craftsperson too, jewelry, tie-dye, batik. All those things are what I do. I also love shells and, seeds and all sorts of natural things.
Yeah.
And although people were telling me how talented I was and all that sort of thing, I was not seeing it converted into hard stone cash.
Yes.
So I was wondering as a sage where to do, what to do. And I was introduced, I had a shop at the time. And somebody who came by, Rudolph Hippolyte, he introduced me. I was, talking to him, and he said, Ifa divination is the thing for you. What really made me catch on when he said that is because prior to that, while doing my Reiki and looking for healing modalities and stuff, I started using a pendulum. And in all my readings and stuff, they said that Ifa had one of the most profound divination systems and intricate and all that. So when he told me, I wanted to find out. After finding out and being initiated, I felt that I have to be responsible for my own spirituality. And for me to be able to do that, I would have had to go to the source. So that's what I did.
Yes.
But when I say it like that, it makes it sound like I was the assertive one. It seemed, though, to have a power within me that was propelling me.
Yes.
It was almost like if I was just going with whatever driving force was taking me there. As to how my family took it, the older of my 2 sons, he was kind of cool with it. My younger son, oh my God, they go poison you.
Oh my God.
Go in, he was not for it at all. But
Well, I can understand. I had a house I was still paying for. I had a business I was doing. For me to go, I'd have had to just leave everything.
Yes.
But,
You're a mother of two.
yes.
And being a mother, I've never been a mother, but I've always been a child. I've always been my mother's child. And let me tell you, we hold on to you all so tight and so dearly, right? We don't want any separation from our people. We don't want you all to leave and go anywhere, do anything weird and strange, You belong to us.
Yeah. But in addition to which, even outside of my children, other people who were in the IFA fraternity and who knew about Nigeria, they had even advised me not to go to Nigeria.
Right.
That if I want to go to Africa, probably I should try Ghana.
Oh.
Yes, so it was that sort of, I had but...
So what made you decide, I'm not going to follow the advice to go to Ghana, I'm going definitely to Nigeria? What was there that drew you?
It was where I was sent.
Yes.
Yeah. Because in addition to which, the initiation that I went through, it was done by a Nigerian.
Right.
Incidentally, I was the first person to be initiated into IFA on Tobago soil, as far as I know it.
Right.
And it was done by a Nigerian. And although they said that there was IFA in Ghana, the most deciding factor, though, was at that time, a friend of mine, Avery Aman, mentioned to me that there was a IFA Heritage Institute that was teaching IFA to people, and it was a school. So the safety of that made me feel that maybe I could go there, and I started to be in touch with them there.
Okay. One of the things I found so interesting, so I was telling a friend of mine, I'm interviewing this author, she went to live in Africa. She said she went to Africa, she came from Africa. I said, no, she moved to Africa. She packed up her stuff and went on her way. And she was like, wow. That's so interesting that, you had the impetus to go. But we don't want to stick on that because there's so much more to discuss. And there's so much to you other than, just your journey and living in Africa. You're a Reiki master, right? And we've heard that word before. We've heard that phrase before. But what we haven't heard a lot of is a lot of local Reiki masters, right? And what I want you to explain to the viewers, exactly, just give us a tidbit. What exactly is Reiki?
Reiki is hands-on healing. As a matter of fact, it is said that Jesus Christ was a Reiki master.
Right.
Yes, because of the healing influence. And when I left to go to Nigeria, I was part of a Reiki group here in Tobago. There were a few people who did Reiki, and we would meet and, do Reiki on each other. So it's not that strange.
No, it's not strange. It's just, we know it, but how many Reiki masters do we know? I only know you.
Right. And the thing is, even with me, I find that I don't practice because people don't know it. And any energy or anything that you have, you could only get more profound and develop if it is shared and you use it, So because of that, I too find myself at a disadvantage because we don't have a lot of people who know about it.
Listen, guys, we're heading into emancipation, right? Today is the 26th of July and the 1st of August every year.
Yes.
Right? It's an emancipation. And we are so happy to have, all these emancipation vibes. I love your outfit.
Thanks.
But what I want you to do for us, Deirdre, is to read.
Okay.
One of the things we love here at Book Club Corner is to be read to.
Right. Okay.
Right?
Lovely.
And we want you to read. When I was reading the book, this is to the front of the book, right? But I just love this passage. It was everything for me, right? And we're going to get into some of the recipes because your book is set out in sections.
Yes.
And we're going to get into some of the recipes that are in the book if you're interested in cooking meals that have an African flavor. This book, Letters from Nigeria, it's not just a book about her experience and the Ifa faith divination system, but it also has recipes in it as well.
Yes.
and we want to see some of those recipes, right? Because we have Emancipation coming up. And after this, we have some people from TTHTI, and they're going to be doing some dishes with a very heritage African feel to it and taste and flavor. So we want to get into some of that. But if you would just read for us, Deirdre.
Well, Joel, first let me say you have been very insightful when you say this is everything.
Yeah.
Because what this is here is the name of each of the chapters in the order that they are put together.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
So this really, in fact, is everything.
Yes.
And it's entitled Empowering an Ifa Initiate. Reaching for the dream, our beliefs shape us. Something has to happen for something to happen. With knowledge comes deeper understanding and appreciation. Feeding body and soul are dictated by cultural experiences. We can be authentic in spite of variations and limitations. While preserving heritage, it is our responsibility to pass it on, accepting that we are all co-creators, knowing that we become what we believe and religiously practice. Let us do the best we can, using wisdom, knowledge, and understanding.
Let me tell you, when you said that line, something has to happen for something to happen. You know, what more explanation do you need?
Yes, that is life.
Something has to happen for something to happen. You know, you have to make that change in order to see the change.
Yes.
That's just what it is. And it was so self-explanatory and so profound for me. And I love that it opens the book, right?
Yes.
It starts right at the beginning,
yes,
laying that foundation for you to get into this book, right? And I remember when I saw some photos of you and a group of others at Swallows.
Oh, right, fine, yes.
And you all were doing some
ancestral veneration.
Yes, and some libations and some drumming and all, to bring back to memory some of our African heritage. And it's so apropos that we are in heritage celebrations right now in Tobago.
Yes,
right?
yeah.
And we know that that is really a direction in terms of food, an African heritage we're talking about. That's really what we're talking about when we start to have that conversation. But I just love that your book really delves into that. And let me just get this again. So there is a space in the back here where you have the recipes. And let me start. So we're on page 289, right? And it has amala combinations. And we're talking about yam real, she says, and water yam, right? And cocoa yam, right? Water yam and cocoa yam, cassava and yam. And there is cassava alone, cassava, yam, cocoa yam, and any combination you may choose. Tell me, what's your favorite recipe from your book? And an easy one to prepare. I want to be able to do it.
I love moi moi.
Ooh. I'm going to look for that. Tell me, what is that?
Moi moi is black eyed beans. The hardest part about it, if you're making it the way the Yoruba make it, is the preparation.
Oh.
You soak the black eyed peas because the Yoruba take the skin off the beans.
Oh.
So after you soak it, it's a bit sting. Because the ones they use is fresh peas, so it's easier for the skin to come off.
Right, right.
But we have the dried black eyed peas here. So we take the skin off and we grind it. It's something that is steamed.
Oh, so is it like a paste is made?
Yes. From the beans, just the beans.
Right.
And it is seasoned. And they put either palm oil, which will give it a red look, or they use what they call groundnut oil. They would use peanut oil too.
Listen, so
It's delicious.
I was in a supermarket the other day, when I say the other day, a few years ago, and I saw the red palm oil on sale, and I said, red palm oil, I have to check this out. It was a different type of substance than I imagined oil to be. Right? It was so flavorful. And when I did some research, I see they added directly to foods. Right? Versus when we talk about oils, we mean to fry in and so on. They actually incorporate it in some of these meals.
Yes.
Right? So, and it's a natural ingredient. It isn't something derived from.
No, it's from the,
Yes, from the palm. So I really liked that, and it gave such a nutty flavor to the foods that we were making at home. So I love that you're incorporating the recipes and the foods, the original things that they're using, menus and ingredients that they're using while you were there. Tell me, how did you adjust to those meals, and why did you decide to incorporate them into the book? And then we want to talk about how did what issues you might have encountered in getting this book published, and if any at all, in terms of finding a publisher and all of that. We want to get
So
into
what's
that.
the first question?
Tell me about the adjustment in terms of menu foods
fine.
Coming from the Caribbean. Was it a familiarity that you found?
No.
Yeah.
First to begin, they eat with their hands.
Yeah.
So, for me, that was quite challenging. I can remember the first function I went to, it was something that you dress in white. And you get, well, this outfit is basically what they wear, a booba, which is a top, what they call a booba, and a wrapper.
Right.
So they wear it all the time, in the market, wherever. They dress it up by how they accessorize it and the fabric that is used. They have beautiful laces. African people, Nigerian, Yoruba, love to dress. And the men even more flamboyant than the women, yes. So, your girl gone in her booba and wrapper, and they put food in front of me. So I there trying to eat. The next thing you know, red palm oil, white outfit. I don't have to tell you how that ended.
Oh my gosh, I can imagine. Tie-dye, of course.
Yeah.
That is something else, customs and habits and culture. Sometimes, we don't know what we missed. We don't know what we're missing. I'm so happy to have you here with us to talk about that. But let's get into this book. Because when I looked at the book, so I got to the back of this book, let me tell you. Let me find back the page. I got to the back of this book and I saw, let me tell you what I saw, right? You won't imagine what I saw. I saw 622. I said, my God, 622 pages. And this is one of her 3 books. And let me ask you, when you started to put the book together, figure out what was going where, how did you decide what was going to go where in a 622 volume book where you have so many different aspects? Because this is not just a book to read. It's not a novel, it's not fiction, it's not it's literally about your life. And then you incorporate recipes, you incorporate definitions, you talk about so many things. How did you decide where stuff was going to be put?
Okay, first and foremost, let's clear this up. It makes me sound too special to make me figure that I didn't know where anything was going or what was happening. The book came through me.
Yes.
But it came in an orderly fashion because I dealt with it as it happened in my life and what it was, right? So, for instance, the first chapter, when reaching for the dream, was written to my children. Where I explained that I was reaching for my dream, I wanted to understand. And, where I explained what the Yoruba tradition was.
Yes.
And the other one I wrote to my siblings. That is our belief shapes us.
Yes.
Speaking about, because we grew up in Christianity, speaking to them why I felt justified in the mood I made and, referring to things that I would have met in my exposure to the spirituality, the brand of spirituality we were exposed to that made this feel like okay for me. And then I went on, something had to happen for something to happen. And this particular verse, I wrote it to Ikeri, who it was at her house in Carnby that we used to meet. And she and I had a falling out, and it was because of that I decided to move on. So, and then so in that letter, she had asked some questions. So that is when I said all the things that devotees need to do. And then, then I wrote to another devotee talking about things more in depth. And I wrote a girlfriend telling her about the situations there, the women, how they interact. And it was in that chapter I did the recipes. And then when I went on to say we can be authentic in spite of variations and limitations, speaking about, because it is varied. You talk about Ifa, but Nigeria is a big place. And they are different, they do things differently. Not everybody follows the same pattern.
Right.
So so sometimes we have query in that, not so to do it and not, it's not about that, we can be authentic in spite of variations and limitations.
Yeah, it's like you get a, let's go with recipes. You get a recipe from your grandmother and from your mother. You are now able to add your own flavor to it, add your own, make it your own. And that's what you're saying, be yourself, be authentic, and let that shine through.
Well, in the case of spiritual things, it's not making it your own and doing what you want in that context, right? But it is more or less, if you're sticking to the why I am doing things, then you could approach it from a different angle once you have, what it takes. It's not that I just going to invent something. So different parts of Nigeria, because of what they were taught, it developed in a different way. But it is still with the most basic thing of ancestral worship, giving thanks, being guided.
Yes.
Because Ifa is a proactive stuff. It is, you go to Ifa before the Tankalang happen. It is not.
I don't even want that bird song so not before the Tankalang.
No, but the Tankalang of life. Instead of going, when you're done doing your rubbish and you're going trying to fix it, it is designed that you go before.
Right.
They seek divination at every stage of your life. You're looking for a wife, you go by the Ifa priest, you find somebody, you go back again to find out.
If it's right, somebody you find.
And then you send people, they have that you send into the community to see if they have mad people in the family, if it are thief, robber, whatever. Thorough investigation.
Yes. And listen, I don't want us to miss any points, right? And we're going to be wrapping up for time just now. Tell us about your process in publishing this book. Just briefly, there are authors out there wanting to know about publishing, about what you experienced. What was your experience publishing this book and even perhaps the other two books as well? Because you have a book that's about color therapy, right? So tell us about if you found it easy to just find a publisher and to get the book done.
No, I'm self-published, but finding a publisher, it was difficult. As a matter of fact, that is how I was led to the Tobago Writers Guild. It was true, and at the time, they did not have the publishing house that they now did, right?
Right.
So then I was Melissa Laptis of the Scarborough Library told me about the girl that I use, Util Duncan.
Okay, yeah.
And I went to her, and she and I had a time of it.
It's quite a work that you're
she was phenomenal in sticking with me, and we were able to work together and see
I read
it to
the
the
front
end.
where she did a forward for you, and she talked about the work editing her.
Yes.
Yeah, she thought she was going to be editing the work.
Yes.
And the work turned out to edit her.
Yes.
And it's, as an author and as creatives, we work on projects, but projects also work on us. It's a two-way street, it's a flow, it's a river, right? We put into the work ourselves. We put ourselves into our work, but our work also speaks to us as well as creatives, as authors.
Yes, as it should be. Sometimes we pay so much emphasis on who we are, the human being, and not recognizing the value of the things that pass through us and the worth and how it could improve our lives.
Yes.
Now, as far as the second book and the second and third book, you were calling this one, excuse me, the second book. This really was supposed to be the second book.
I tell you, divination is happening today.
This was supposed to be the second book. I was always saying the next book. And with this book, I had everything written and say, breathe a sigh of relief, and went up on my roof to relax and walk around. And when I came back down, everything had disappeared from the computer. Yes, I did have those kind of experiences.
Yes.
Every single thing. So this book is no longer what it was because it had to be rewritten and it knew what it was. And it is easy to say, oh, it is a meditation journey and it's a coloring book and all that. But it is a profound book reflecting on divinity.
Yes.
You know, and it is an entire script, but each of the pages reads individually.
Yes.
And it works as something. So I just, this one, sincere interaction with the magical magnificence of the original is, that always will be, activates opposite portals to those triggered by manipulations that are reproduced from lies.
And on that note, let me tell you, it's been an experience, Deirdre, as usual.
Yes.
We're wrapping up here today at Book Club Corner. Thank you for being with us.
Yes, you're welcome.
We're having some. What are we having, Deirdre?
Belladonna.
Belladonna. Belladonna, don't tell people that.
Tracy
heading
would be surprised.
We're heading into
this
different
is the one I
category.
drink that she gives. Yeah, I get from
It's
her.
beautiful. So this is Bella Forma from Stacy. We want to thank Mainridge Wines for sponsoring us with this wine. And we also want to thank I4 Design, my good friend Neve. He's a florist here in Tobago, and he gave us this beautiful arrangement.
Oh, it's fantastic.
It is.
All the yellows.
Yes, and I called him up this morning. I said, Neve, can you give us some floral arrangement? And he said, yes. Do you want it for this week? I said, yes, of course. And he passed by the shop. So I collected this morning. He'll be giving us some floral arrangements every Wednesday. Neve is on. Listen, he's such a creative person, I4 Design. He does beautiful work. If you have a party, an engagement, a wedding, any event in Tobago, Neve, I4 Design is the company to check. And we have Mainridge Wines. So when we're at Book Club Corner, we love to cheers. We love to hang out. We love to read a good book. Get this book by the author, Deirdre Prescott. This is Letters from Nigeria. And you can find the author on Facebook. She has her own YouTube channel and she shares her wisdom. And we want to thank you for being with us today. Enjoy the rest of your week, guys. Enjoy Emancipation coming up. And cheers to you.
From the experts that created the Zinger sandwich comes the KFC Crispy Barbecue Zinger.
The only one I see is you.
Cheddar cheese, crispy onions, the most delicious Kentucky Fried Chicken, and barbecue sauce. Get ready for a whole new level of flavor.
Right now, Tobagonians are just currying down to Bon Accord.
right in Tobago local road. You know why? To come down and shop at Authentic Builders General Hardware, the only hardware store in Tobago that is giving you guys Trinidad prices. So for instance, such as steel, 1/2 inch and 5/8, $7,895. 5/8 construction ply for $260. Every single thing that you will need to do your home renovation or start your new construction, we have it right here. And to get your quotation, it's very easy. Just WhatsApp us at 272-1990 and we will do your free WhatsApp quotation for you.
Are you flood ready? Review and update insurance coverage. Install floodgates and barriers. Create a family flood plan. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. Tatil, where people are people.
Mamai Lakai Home Services. We specialize in cleaning of carpets and rugs, mattresses, living room and dining room sets, vehicle detailing, cleaning and sanitizing of homes and commercial spaces. We also do landscaping and tree cutting, pressure and power washing, floor care, fumigating and air purifying. You can also call us for professional painting services, babysitting and adult sitting. Call us now 333-4430 at Mamai Lakai Home Services. We take cleaning to another level. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts has 1, 2 and 3 bedroom fully self-contained apartments located at the heart of Crown Point. Minutes walk to the popular beaches, restaurants, bars and the airport. Enjoy our amazing amenities such as fully equipped apartments complete with Wi-Fi, AC, TV and a pool and a mini-mart on the compound. Call 639-8292 or 8929. Jimmy's Holiday Resorts is your family's home away from home. The best place to stay in Tobago is at Thorn's Place with rates starting as low as 200 TT. Call or WhatsApp 745-7306 or 682-8676. We are located uptown Scarborough, 5 minutes away from the port. Remember, at Thorn's Place, our aim is to make your stay safe and affordable. Number 13B Portmore, Scarborough, Tobago, with over 25 years experience offering services in and not limited to microscopic blood analysis, reflexology, and the sale of a wide range of organic herbal products used to supplement thyroid, lymphatic, heart, kidney, and brain health, and the male and female reproductive systems. Come and chat with us. Remember, your health is your wealth.
Tobago Glass Supplies has been a leading name for over 37 years in the glass and aluminum market in Tobago. We provide an extensive range of high-quality, innovative aluminum and glass products for commercial and residential use. Competitive prices with superior and professional services by committed employees who are guided by rigid quality standards. Tobago Glass Supplies specializes in the manufacture and installation of glass and aluminum products that are essential to today's homeowners and the business environment. We are engaged in marketing, sales, and installation of a variety of products. These ranges from windows and doors to necessities such as mirrors for homes and vehicles, designed and manufactured in-house or imported.
Are you flood ready? Recycle and properly dispose of large waste. Avoid sweeping yard clippings or trash into drains. Plant trees to avoid soil erosion. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
MI4 Security Services Company is the most advanced security service in Tobago. Ask about our cash and transit service. It's safe, risk-free, reliable, and timely. We provide safe banking delivery for all business types and sizes with highly trained staff, 24/7 monitoring, coordinated emergency response, and a well-maintained fleet of armored vehicles. Contact us at 660-7723 or visit our website at www.mi4securitytt.com to sign up today.
If you see or know about a crime, report a crime safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. You can play your part safely and anonymously. Report a crime. Earn a reward. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime. Be a hero. Champion. Fearless citizen. Be a crime stopper safely and anonymously. Call 800-TIPS. Help stop crime.
Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates. Real questions and honest conversations with the sole aim of keeping you fully in the know. Full disclosure with the executive every Thursday at 8 p.m. only on Tobago Updates.
Are you flood ready? Monitor trusted sources for info. Wear protective gear when you clean up. Contact your insurance provider to assess the damage. An initiative to help people prevent, prepare, recover. TATIL, where people are people.
Excel Spa by Haley, where our highly trained staff are ready to deliver the top-class services in facial massages, waxing, nail enhancement, and body treatment. We are ideally located at Coco Avenue, Susseland, Tobago. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, TripAdvisor, or you can call us on 730-0149. Exhale Spa by Haley. Relax, renew, and rejuvenate.
It's a different type of thing down there. Man, we party till we drop down there. With a lot of pretty girls down there. Down in Tobago.
Good morning, good morning, put a smile on your...
Our national borders, our first step to security, but a possible access point for guns, drugs, crime. If it does not look right, do the right thing. Call Crime Stoppers anonymously. 800-8477. Report possible border crime.
And welcome back to Brunch, a taste of Tobago. Now, I said a taste of Tobago, and that is so befitting of the guests that I have with me. If you all can smell the studio now, it is smelling so wonderful. And I would have been talking about the fact that I was hungry from before with the DIY, with the whipped cream that looked like icing. So we're going to move off of that for a bit. So we're talking emancipation. We're talking culinary art, and who is best fitted to be speaking on that topic than my wonderful guests on set, the Brunch set with me today from the Tourism and Hospitality Institute. Did I say it correctly? Right. I just want to make sure. They are here and they are going to be speaking about Emancipation Luncheon, which they are going to be hosting, of course, on Emancipation Day. So I have with me, I want to get the names right, so I'm going to go back to my notes here. Tamika George. This is Tamika right here. Tamika is a student and also head chef. So we have Tamika George, Nicole Keel, Alicia, that's you, yes, with the smile, and of course Sydney Brooms. This is Sydney right here, and they are all a part of the THTI experience. They are chefs, and let me not forget our chef in the corner. He was hoping that I did not forget him. Chef Burgess Lovelace. Did I say it correctly? Yes, Burgess Lovelace. And I'm going to open up the floor a bit. Guys, tell me about the Emancipation Luncheon. Is this the first event? Is this the first time that it's happening? All right, so tell me a bit about how this idea came about. Who's going to take it? Tamika? Okay, let's go.
Well, the Emancipation Luncheon is actually our final exam for the Food Prep 2 class. So we're doing it in the format of the luncheon. It starts at 11:30 a.m. We have entertainment for our guests on arrival. We have complimentary drinks for our guests. DJ, obviously, to have entertainment while they dine. And we know you all will be coming out dressed in your best, in your African print. So we have a photo booth for you all as well.
Sure.
So you'll be getting a 3-course meal as well, and you'll be there to enjoy all the entertainment and all we have in store for you all.
Okay. And what can we expect in terms of culinary cuisine when we come? Now, judging by what I'm smelling, now I'm just going by my smell, guys. So I have no idea what's here, but what can we expect in terms of the cuisine? What are you guys going to be giving to our wonderful patrons when they come to your event? Who's going to take it? Sydney, you go.
So for our appetizer, we have our roasted butternut soup that goes with a lahu flatbread. We have an azifa salad, which is a lentil salad. We have sausage chicken, stewed fish, jollof rice, and fried bananas. And for desserts, we have malva pudding and poached fruits. All of these are like African dishes.
Okay, so they are going with, of course, it's emancipation. It's a time to be very festive, not just in our dress, not just in the way our creativity, but we're going with our food. And if you notice what Sydney just described, these are ethnic dishes that are going to be presented on that special day. Now, tell me a bit about, well, Tamika just indicated that this is a part of your final exams. And so it takes a lot to get this thing going. Yeah. What has the journey been so far? Being a student chef at THTI. Who's going to take that one first?
Well, the journey so far has been great. I must say we have learned a lot. THTI facilitates learning for everyone. There is no age barrier for learning there, so we welcome any age. If you're 50, 60 and you're feeling like you want to come learn, there is no barrier to we welcome you. We not only have culinary arts, we also have hospitality and tourism and bar, food and beverage. So we have all that at THTI where you can learn anything that you want to.
Definitely.
Yeah, so our learning is, our chefs that we have, they are well experienced chefs. They teach us everything that we have to learn and preparing us for the world of work. So we definitely, when we leave THTI, we are ready for the world of work. So the employees out there, they have to just accept us in their business. They are having great chefs. When we finish here at THTI.
And you hear that? She said when they leave THTI, they are ready for the world. So that means they come with all of the experience, all of the knowledge, the professionalism, the expertise, knowing what to do when, knowing how to read a room, knowing what this event needs, what it doesn't need, knowing when to pull back, knowing when to say, excuse me, knowing when to serve, and all these things that are indicative of culinary artistry and hospitality. And that's what we're talking today with my wonderful and beautiful guests. Now, Chef Lovelace is in the corner here, and he's hoping that I don't ask him any questions. But I have to ask, how long have you been a part of the THTI experience?
For me, it's only been a year and a half. I spent 14 years at the culinary school first in Trinidad. So this is a new experience in Tobago for me.
Okay. All right. And Nicole, let me come to you. What has your experience been like?
My experience here in the Tobago Hospitality School has been a great experience. I have learned a lot from the chefs that we have there that taught us, that teach us.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's a very great experience that I would encourage anyone to have a try.
Okay. And just go over because of viewers, for those of you who are just joining us, they would want to know what you guys will be serving. So just go over what the menu will be just one more time so that our viewers could have an idea of what it will be. So I don't know if Sydney wants to take that again. Just go over what the menu is going to be. Yeah.
So upon entry, there'll be a complimentary drink.
So you guys could start putting your stuff out.
For the appetizer, we have a roasted butternut soup and a laho flatbread. Butternut soup is, well, roasted as we said in the name, and it's like a cream soup. So yeah. And the laho flatbread is a dough made with yeast. It's a yeast dough. And for the main course, we have an Azifa salad as well, which is a lentil salad.
Okay.
It has other vegetables in it. It has eggs that goes with it as well, which is a big part of African culture, African foods. We have, for the main course, we have jollof rice. We have, well, yeah. The jollof rice is rice cooked in tomato stew.
Right.
So the tomatoes would be pureed with other vegetables and then cooked down, and then you'll add the rice to it and season it as you like to taste.
Okay.
We serve with sausage chicken, which is a garlic and herb. Chicken marinated in a garlic and herb with a tip of curry and some sweet to it.
Oh, that should be delicious.
Yeah. Serve a kebab. And we have stewed fish as well for those who don't eat chicken.
Okay.
And we have fried bananas, because in the Caribbean we are accustomed to fried plantain, but African culture is like actually bananas.
Okay. And as we are outfitting the dishes here, tell us about what's going on here. Is this what you just described, or is this a different?
Azifa salad.
Okay, so just describe what's here. It looks really, actually pretty nice, garnished with the carrots and things. Yes.
Well, actually,
professionalism at its best.
This is the Azifa salad, and as Sydney said, it's garnished with carrots. We have onions and lime also in it.
Right.
And it's just rested on a bed of lettuce. Bok choy with the eggs. So this is just a plating technique that we're doing here. So this is actually on the menu.
Okay.
So you're getting a live view of what the
menu would look like. And what is this herb at the top here? I'm seeing some small leaves. What is that? Fine leaf thyme? Is that thyme?
This one, yeah.
No, this one.
Yeah,
right. Okay. Can't go wrong with that also. All right. So this comes here. Let me stand a little away. I want to be speaking over the food. Okay. What's next on the plates, on the dishes right now?
So they're going to do a peas.
Yeah. All right. So as she's putting, what is this exactly?
It's a mix of corn and kidney beans.
Corn and kidney beans. Okay. And this is part of what will be on display?
Yeah. Everything.
Yeah. Everything is what will be on display. Okay. And here we have the rice. Tell us the name of the rice again.
Jollof rice.
Jollof rice. And this is an African.
Yes, it comes from the Wolof tribe.
Okay. From which tribe?
Wolof tribe.
Wolof? Yes. Wolof tribe. Did I say it correctly? Because we're all about learning here on Brunch. So we're going with jollof rice now. She's adding to the dish. It looks very artistic from where I'm standing, and it's all African cuisine. They are keeping in the theme of emancipation. They are going to the motherland and bringing you those foods. Tell us about your meat line. What type of meat is this?
So that's the sauce chicken. Yeah, so it's marinated in the garlic herb.
Right.
And with a bit of touch of curry as well. Yeah, with and it's a bit sweet to taste as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Is
so
it
you have
spicy?
Oh yes, it is.
Right.
So you have that nice flavor combining together.
Right. Lovely. Lovely, lovely.
So all the flavor be bursting out.
Yeah, and my mouth is watering. Let me stand back before it waters near the food. And I noticed that chef is telling Nicole that she has to cross the pieces, and this is so it's the professionalism for me, because I'm standing here, I'm looking at them in their element, and they are he's indicating, okay, this needs to cross and what part of the plate this should go to and that sort of thing, and it's really, really, really inspiring to watch at work. So guys, tell us it's Emancipation Day, obviously. Just remind us of the time, the venue, how we can reach you, because there would be persons who would be wanting to join and attend your event. So who's going to take that? Okay.
So it's August 1st at 11:30 a.m. at the THDI campus at the Top of the Mill restaurant. All right. You could see the flyer on the screen, and you could get access to it on any of the social media platforms at THDI's social media platforms. And we are excited to see you all on the 1st of August.
Definitely. And we will definitely need to be a part of this. This is the first. Is this your first event? Okay.
Yes.
And do you plan on this being a annual staple of the THDI calendar? Because it's definitely something that we would look forward to. It's African tradition. It's in the food is African inspired, and that is something that we need to really embrace as emancipation comes around. What has there been much buzz to the event? Are people talking? Are people interested? Is there buzz? What's going on with the event? Who's gonna take that one?
Well, it's a mixed feedback, but so far we have a couple people reserved, so that's why we're here today to promote it some more. Yeah.
But I would like to say also that we really calling out the people, because it's not just about coming to eat the food, it's about coming to support the students. We are the future of tomorrow, and we really just not come to spending money, but just come to support us as a student body, to come to push us forward, to help us, because also part of this money is also going towards our next term event and Food Prep 3. So it's like a start to our Food Prep, to go to another level.
Yes.
So it's not just coming to dine, it's just really coming to help us in our education as well and pushing us forward.
Okay,
as
so
students.
yes, so the support.
It's important.
It's really important. It really does take a village, and in this case, the support is needed so students can move on, evolve, grow, experience what it is to be a culinary artist. Hospitality has to come in there as well, so we cannot leave that out. All right, and guys, I would love to. My mouth is watering again. I would love to taste, but before I do that, guys, a trivia question. What is the canister? What is in the canister at the Mariah Oldtime Wedding? Let me start again. At the Mariah Oldtime Wedding, what is in the canister carried during the procession? I'm going to stick with this question because I don't believe anyone got it. So I'm going to stick with this question. All right. And before we wrap, we're just going to pull up the menu right here. I'm looking at the camera to. Yes. So the menu, we have the menu for you to view again. This is set out to show you what exactly is going to be served, where you can reach the students. It's emancipation time, and it's a wonderful time. It's a time to be celebrated. So as I'm waiting for my fork, I see it's being wrapped. I don't even know if they need to wrap it, because like I'm so hungry right now. I don't even know if I want it to wrap. But let me just, if I could just pull this, and I'm just gonna taste. This is kidney bean and corn.
Sure.
The way that I want to eat this, I'm on camera, so I have to be cute. But the way that I want to eat it, I can't. This is absolutely amazing. This is absolutely delicious. And I want to thank you guys for coming. Let me just chew this real quick so I can talk. Right? He wants me to, why though? Why are you doing that to me? All right, so jollof rice.
Yes, so that's the jollof rice there.
Mm-hmm.
And the tomato paste. Yeah. Yeah, so it's cooked in a stock.
I don't know why he want me to taste everything. Tell me, it's cooked in
a stock, yes.
Okay. I wouldn't tackle the meat now because I wouldn't be able to talk at the same time. But guys, thank you so much for coming. Thank you so much for being a part of what we're doing at Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. Remember to tune in for our special edition on the Charlottesville Natural Treasures Day. Everything Charlottesville. Remember to tune in tomorrow. We would have that for you. Once again, thank you so much for viewing Brunch, A Taste of Tobago. We will see you guys on Friday. All right, until then, peace, love, blessings, and light. God bless you.